V enjoys laddus and makes the dasis eat as well. Dharma says it is good to share things with everyone. It makes you happier only. Dasis compliment him. You are just like Rajkumar Ashoka. He also never differentiated between ordinary people and rich. He asks about a room and gets to know that it is of his brother. They share that no one is allowed to go inside except Samrat. Only he comes here at times. He gets excited and opens the room. They are tensed, but he assures them that his brother said that whatever is his is mine as well. I want to rest in Ba's room for some time. They nod and leave. V looks around at the things in his brother's room. He looks at the gleaming sword kept there. I am sure Ba must be missing it all. It was yours and was snatched from you. You'll get it back now. Come here as soon as possible. Nothing seems good or makes me happy without you. He suddenly notices Sushim's reflection in the sword. He looks towards the door and finds Sushim looking at him. Kaurvaki is walking the jungle. She stands under a tree from which flowers are falling down. She swells to enjoy them pouring down at her. Ashoka smiles looking at her from far. Romantic music plays. Kaurvaki is all smiles and holds some flowers in her hands. Ashoka peeks at her. She walks ahead. Ashoka follows her at a distance. Suddenly a sword is pointed at his back, startling him. V is walking in the corridor, maybe hypnotized by Sushim. Sushim, Mamachut, Siamak and Charamitra look on from far. V is near the balcony. Sushim says, come. Move ahead slowly. At times, it isn't the end of risk when you stop fearing. It increases risk all the more. One more step. V is at the edge of the balcony. Dharma shouts his name just in time. He turns and is about to fall, but she holds him in time. Siamak, Sushim and Charamitra look upset. Dharma hugs V. Are you fine? Confused. How did I come here? I was in Ba's room. Sushim says your death brought you here, younger brother. Charamitra adds that Dharma saved you this time. She has to do what we say if she wants to see you alive. Dharma tells them to stop. End of fear is scarier than fear. This is what has happened with me. If you think it is the same Dharma before you who was there 10 years ago, helpless and weak, then you are mistaken. It will be your second mistake. You all have accepted all of your crimes against Magad and of killing Acharya Chanakya before me, thereby making your one mistake. I was that woman till yesterday whose son was banished from Magad. Today I am the woman who has been brought back in Patliputra by her husband with love and happiness. It is because you did to him like I used to 10 years ago. I am not just Dharma today but Rani Dharma. Ashoka and V are my sons. They are the princes of Magad. If anything happens to my son, then Samrat won't doubt even a bit that whatever I will tell him will be true. I kept quiet all these years. My son bore the punishments of the crime he didn't commit because I chose to keep quiet, but not anymore. I am not that same Rani Dharma anymore. Remember it well. It will be good for all of you. She leaves with V. Sushim asks Charamitra to stop Dharma or he will have to do something. Charamitra goes after Dharma. Kaurvaki asks Ashoka who he is. Why are you following me? He says you are mistaken. I asked about marriage as I worried about you. She questions him on his right. He holds her while she attacks him. He suggests her to kill him if she doubts him. She gives him his sword. I don't attack someone who does not have any weapon. Face me if you are brave enough. They engage in sword fight. He says it isn't needed. I don't want to hurt you. She says you don't want to hurt me or you don't want to tell me. He is mesmerized looking at her as they fight. She finds it hard to tackle his attack, so he pushes her while playing with the sword and says Jai Janani. She gets alert. Who are you? Ashoka calls himself a well-wisher and begins to walk away. She gets thinking. If he is Ashoka, then who will be wearing that necklace? She stops him and tries to see the necklace, but he holds her hand. They stumble and fall down together. Romantic music plays. Ashoka is holding her shoulders to keep her safe while she is holding back so as to avoid holding him. They get up feeling awkward. Charamitra stands in Dharma's way. What's the proof against us? How will Samrat believe you without any proof? Dharma reasons that she is his Dharma wife. She completes him. I am Vamangi. I sit on the side where his heart is. One does not need proof but feelings to convey something to someone. My husband understands my feelings too well. I know how to make him understand something. An ideal wife has the power to make her husband believe her. I have this quality since day one. You could never become it. Charamitra looks hurt. Dharma says you won't understand it as love means nothing to you. You would have understood the relation of love if you had loved someone. You would understand how love stays put even after staying together. I was once away from him for 14 years and now for 10 years, but nothing changed. Separation has only increased love. You would have seen how his anger turned into tears seeing a glimpse of me. His arms flung open to hug me. This proves that you could never fill the emptiness in his life. You never understood how important a wife is in a husband's life. She is the epitome of sacrifice and selflessness, but you are completely opposite. Forget about being an ideal wife, you couldn't become a woman properly too. You have become tough like an idol of mirror which has no life in it. She walks away with V. Susham questions his mother why she is quiet. I will do something if you cannot do anything. She tells him to seek her permission before taking any step further. He smiles. I am not Ashoka to seek my mother's permission before doing anything. My mother never stops me. She supports me instead. Charamitra tells him to go. Dharma says seems like you have understood it. I don't want to hurt Samrat by telling him your truth. You have forced me to do this. If anything happens to my son or you dare think of it, then I will tell everything to Samrat. You have two options, either make a deal or let me tell him everything. Charamitra tells her she can take her son and go. Everyone looks at her in shock. Susham wonders where Ashoka went, leaving his mother here. Ashoka asks Kaurvaki where she is headed to. She says Patliputra. He offers to drop her Tilda personally. It is the easiest way to reach there. Kaurvaki feels it is Ashoka only. I will find out today.